Today we are going to be looking at the 2018 Senate elections if Hillary Clinton was president or elected president in 2016. So clearly this map does not favor the Democrats, but Donald Trump is president. So the Democrats do have a shot at possibly tying the majority, not really taking the majority at this point, but the current composition puts the Democrats at 49 seats and 51 seats for the Republicans. Subtract one from the Democrats and add one to the Republicans, and that's where we would be standing today if Hillary Clinton was president, because obviously Jeff Sessions would not be Attorney General, and there would be no Alabama special election for obvious reasons. So we're looking at this map. Right now, we would have 43 Republicans and 23 Democrats still, because, actually, no, 22 Democrats and 43 Republicans, because they would be adding one. So that's pretty interesting. So when we finish off the map, I will mention that we will be adding one to the Democrats subtracting one from the Democrats and adding one to the Republicans. I've never actually seen the map like this, where Minnesota and Mississippi are completely out because they don't have two senators there elected. They have two senators going up for an election in 2018. But since we do not have, Al Franken probably wouldn't resign in this scenario because the Senate would be so key and so at play and up for grabs if Hillary Clinton was president. I am actually going to characterize that race in the Minnesota special election as safe for the time being. I'm going to get, told off about this later on in the comment section because a lot of people don't actually watch the video. Regardless, I'll probably make a comment and then pin it. And also, I'm going live tonight, so if you want to go check out the results of the special election in Ohio tonight, check out my live stream. I will also be covering the primaries, and I will be making projections. But, don't trust me more than a news source because I don't have millions of dollars behind me researching an election every second. So 42 Republicans, 24 Democrats. I'm just going to read it off like that, and then in the end I will start subtracting. But right now these states, actually Washington would still be a safe state. New York would still be safe. Obviously Vermont, Maine would not necessarily be a safe state in this scenario. Before the Republicans, I've actually done this video a couple of times. The Republicans did have a part where they would have a supermajority in the United States Senate, and when it came down to it, that was more believable because there are so many Republican states from 2016 where the Democrats currently have senators from. So a number of these states probably still wouldn't flip even in a Republican wave scenario, but this map definitely would help the Republicans gain a number of seats. We're probably not going to see a supermajority today, but it would be possible in another scenario. In New Jersey, I did not mean to fill in as a safe blue state. I meant to fill in another state. Wyoming still goes to the GOP. Utah as well. Orrin Hatch probably wouldn't be retiring. Texas would also be a Republican state. Now we can move on into the likely states for the Democratic and Republican parties. New Mexico would be a likely state for the Democrats. Maine would probably be a likely state at this point. Delaware, the margin has already narrowed down to single digits in this election, probably would still be a likely state for the Democratic candidate there. Looking at this, Minnesota would actually be I'm going to put Minnesota in the special just in the leaning column because I know someone's going to skip to the end and see it, so it won't seem like it's a safe state when Amy Klobuchar is at a likely rating. So Amy Klobuchar is at a likely rating right now in the state of Minnesota, even though her approval rating is at 60%, likely means between 5 to 15%. So her election could narrow down only because this is a Republican wave year, and even popular incumbents are vulnerable at some point, but Minnesota I would characterize as a likely state for the Democrats, but North Dakota would be probably actually a likely Republican state at this point with the amount of partisan voters and the amount of Republican energy in this state alone. Even in a Democratic wave year, we are going to see this possibly could be characterized as a Republican tsunami when we see this map. Tennessee goes to the GOP by the likely rating. Arizona would still remain in the GOP column. Actually, would probably still be a leaning state only because I do see the margin still between 1 to 5%, even in a Republican year. Nevada would still be one of those states that would be in the leaning column, but that puts the Republicans at 52, actually technically 53, and the Democrats at 35. Sorry, I think I might have hit the mic there. Virginia. Here's where it gets interesting. Virginia, obviously, Tim Kaine would be vice president. So what better way to show a referendum against the White House than fielding a candidate who could win in the Virginia Senate election, flipping it from blue to red? Well, that's exactly what I think the GOP would be very capable of doing. And speaking of going from blue to red, the state of New Jersey goes from blue to red. Bob Hugin would probably win this election, even by a narrow margin, in a Republican wave year, because Bob Menendez is still at the possibility of losing. He's +2 in a Democratic wave year, when the nation is +7 Democrat in terms of the generic ballot. He is underperforming there. In a Republican wave year, this would easily be a seat for the Republicans. But Michigan, I still see as a likely blue state. Wisconsin and Pennsylvania both lean in the favor of the Democrats. Wisconsin approval rating went up for Tammy Baldwin. Michigan has pretty much stayed around the same for Debbie Stabenow, and Pennsylvania approval rating around the same for Senator Bob Casey. But when we're looking at this map, we have 40 Democrats, 54 Republicans, really 55 Republicans, and 39 Democrats. Well, also, Indiana would probably be a leaning Republican state. Missouri as well, a leaning Republican state. Claire McCaskill wouldn't be too lucky if Republicans are sweeping the rest of the offices. Florida, Bill Nelson would probably not be winning the seat here. Over in West Virginia, that one would probably still be a leaning Republican state because I do think Joe Manchin could hold out with a couple of Republican voters but still lose the Senate race. Montana, even though John Tester does not have that good of a GOP opponent, Montana still narrowly goes to the Republican Party, and Ohio would still be a narrow rating for the GOP. So Indiana and Missouri I would actually characterize as likely for the GOP at this point. West Virginia, I could see the argument there for a likely GOP state, but I still think that Joe Manchin would do pretty well with Republican voters. So if it is a likely state, it would be right around 6%, 6 to 7%. But this pretty much finalizes the map for the 2018 Senate if Hillary Clinton was president. So this scenario was very interesting for me. I don't get why more people aren't interested in things like this because, you know, what if scenarios sometimes are a little bit more fun than president scenarios because, again, it's never going to happen, but it is a what if scenario. So what if Hillary Clinton was elected in 2016? Obviously, that's not going to happen, but it's always fun to figure out how. So if you skip to the end, you should probably watch the video if you want to hear the reasoning for a couple of states because this map is very lopsided towards the Republican Party. I will be going live tonight for the Ohio 12th special election. I will be making an announcement video about that pretty soon, so don't forget to check that out around 7 p.m. You'll probably get the notification if you do have notifications turned on. And yeah, so leave a comment how you think that this scenario would go if Hillary Clinton was president, if you agree or disagree with some of my calls. Thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow. Wait. Oh, I was about to end the video. Like I said in the beginning, you have to add one to the Republicans, giving them 61 seats, and take away one from the Democrats because Alabama would not be a blue state. So let me see if I can actually edit that real quick. I probably can't because it's like one of those things because 270 really wants to mess me up all the time. Yeah, I probably can't, but I'll just get rid of Alabama. Let's see if I can get rid of it real quick. Oh no, I'm deleting the map. Oh well, that's a good way to end the video. Just delete all the... Actually, that looks pretty cool. Okay. That did not end how I wanted it to, but very interesting map. 61 Republicans, 39 Democrats because Alabama never happened. But thank you guys for watching this video. Comment down suggestions below, and I will see you all tomorrow.